Moving along, do what thou wilt, so be the whole of the law. This is Frater Wynter coming to you live from Templum Priory here in Central Florida on day 4 of the Thelemic Holy Season, today being the day of RESH, and tonight's reading of the Psalm will be Liber VII, chapter 4. I am like a maiden bathing in a clear pool of fresh water. O my God, I see thee dark and desirable, rising through the water as a golden smoke. Thou art altogether golden, the hair and the eyebrows and the brilliant face, even into the fingertips and toe tips. Thou art one rosy dream of gold. Deep in thine eyes that are golden, my soul leaps, like an archangel menacing the sun. My sword passes through and through thee. Crystalline moons ooze out of thy beautiful body that is hidden behind the ovals of thine eyes. Deeper and deeper I fall, even as the whole universe falls down the abyss of years. For eternity calls, the other world calls, and the world of the Word is awaiting us. Be done with speech, O God. Fasten the fangs of thy hound eternity in this my throat. I am like a wounded bird flapping in circles. Who knows where I shall fall? O blessed one, O God, O my devourer. Let me fall, fall down, fall away, afar, alone. Let me fall. Nor is there any rest, sweetheart, save in the cradle of royal Bacchus, the thigh of the most holy one. There rest under the canopy of night. Uranus chid Eros, Marsyas chid Olympus. I chid my beautiful lover with his sunray mane. Shall I not sing? Shall not mine incantations bring around me the wonderful company of the wood gods, their bodies glistening with the ointment of moonlight and honey and myrrh? Worshipful are ye, O my lovers, let us forward to the dimmest hollow. There will be a feast upon mandrake and upon moly. There the lovely one shall spread us his holy banquet. In the brown cakes of corn we shall taste the food of the world and be strong. In the ruddy and awful cup of death we shall drink the blood of the world and be drunken. Oi, the song of Iao, the song of Iao. Come, let us sing to thee, Iacchus invisible, Iacchus triumphant, Iacchus indicible. Iacchus, O Iacchus, O Iacchus, be near us. Then was the countenance of all time darkened, and the true light shone forth. There was also a certain cry in an unknown tongue, whose stridency troubled the still waters of my soul, so that my mind and my body were healed of their dis-ease, self-knowledge. Yea, an angel troubled the waters. This is the cry of him. Ioshbethioiamam the ibi. Nor did I sing this for 1,000 times a night for the 1,000 nights before thou camest, O my flaming God, and pierced me with thy spear. Thy scarlet robe unfolded the whole heaven so that the God said, all is burning, it is the end. And thou didst set thy lips to the wound and suck out 1,000,000 eggs. And thy mother sat upon them, and lo, stars and stars, and ultimate things whereof stars are the atoms. Then I perceived thee, O my God, sitting like a white cat upon the trellis work of the arbor, and the hum of the spinning worlds was but thy pleasure. O white cat, the sparks fly from thy fur. Thou dost crackle with splitting the worlds. I have even seen more of thee in the white cat that I saw in the vision of the aeons. In the boat of Ra did I travel, but I never found upon the visible universe any being like unto thee. Thou was like a winged white horse, and I race thee through eternity against the Lord of the gods. So still we race. Thou was like a flake of snow falling in a pine-clad woods. In a moment thou wast lost in the wilderness of the like and the unlike. But I beheld the beautiful God at the back of the blizzard, and thou wast he. Also, I read in a great book. On ancient skin was written in letters of gold, verbum fit verbum, also vitriol, and the hierophant's name, VVVVV. And this wheeled in fire, in star fire, rare and far and utterly lonely, even as thou and I, O desolate soul of my God, yea, and the writing. It is well. This is the voice which shook the earth. 8 times he cried aloud, and 8, and by 8 shall I count thy favors of thou 11-fold God 418. Abrahadabra, yea, and by many more, by the 10 in the 22 directions, even as the perpendicular of the pyramid, so shall thy favors be. If I number them, they are one. Excellent is thy love, O Lord. Thou art relevant by the darkness. And he who groped in the horror of the grove shall haply catch thee, even as a snake that seizeth on a little singing birds. I have caught thee, O my soft thrush. I am like a hawk of mother of emerald. I catch thee by instinct, though my eyes fail from thy glory. Yet there are but foolish folk yonder. I see them on the yellow sand, all clad in Tyrian purple. They draw their shining God unto the land in nets. They build a fire to the Lord of fire, and cry unhallowed words, even the dreadful curse, Amri, Maratza, Maratza, Atman, Deona, Lasadza, Maratza, Maratza, Maran. They do not cook the shining God and gulp him whole. These are evil folk, O beautiful boy. Let us pass on to the other world. Let us make ourselves into a pleasant bait, into a seductive shape. I will be like a splendid naked woman with ivory breast and golden nipples. My whole body shall be like the milk of the stars. I will be lustrous and Greek, a courtesan of Delos, of the unstable isle. Thou shalt be like a little red worm on a hook, but thou and I will catch our fish alike. Then wilt thou be a shining fish, with golden back and silver belly, and I will be like a violent, beautiful man, stronger than 20 bulls, a man of the West, bearing a great sack of precious jewels upon a staff that is greater than the axis of the all. And the fish shall be sacrificed to thee, and the strong man crucified for me, and thou and I will kiss, and atone for the wrong of the beginning, yea, for the wrong of the beginning. A little something to think about. So tonight's card related to today is Atu 19. There we go, the Sun card. The Hebrew letter, I like people say RESH, but in actuality it's pronounced Reish, and if you look at the image you'll see what I mean, which is numerically equivalent to 200 and also means the head. The center of this card kind of shows that in the head is the highest chakra point, the revelation of the 1,000-petaled lotus where initiation happens. When you break through the true Lord of the Rings, which is Kether, which is ruled by Saturn, believe it or not. Saturn, the Lord of the Rings. Once you break through those rings, that's when your inner sun illuminates your spiritual path. And then your outer sun, your personality, shines to everyone who sees you. Where are my handouts? Oh, here we go. So the path of the sun is actually, I don't have my tree of life picture, but it's actually between Hod, which is Mercury, and Yesod, it's actually here, I can show it on this one. Oops. So you have the moon and Mercury, and the path that leads between the two of them is the path of the sun. This pathway, sorry, this pathway of using our will to create a world around us, shape it to our goals and needs, as long as we are creating goodness in harmony with the universe. RESH connects the higher mind of Hod with the subconscious of Yesod. Through RESH, the higher mind of Hod influences the waveforms of Yesod's astral body and consciously creates our existence here on Earth. As a great force of both good and evil, Yesod needs guidance and direction by higher principles that are supplied by Tiphereth, the sun, and helps the higher principles supplied by Tiphereth via Yod to us. In this great solar hexagram, you can see both Mercury and the moon are tied to the sun and how they all reciprocate from each other. So a few effects of traveling this path are freedom of expression, freedom of creation, having a childlike exuberance, the transformation of emotional programming, breaking free of things, seeing things for how they really are and not how they've been professed to you, spiritual expansion and understanding, and a balance of equilibrium of personality. Now the flip side to this, as there always is, happens when the glory of Hod doesn't confer the light of Tiphereth, then the path of RESH can cause us to focus on greed, materialism, filling the voids with whatever appeases us in that moment, arrogance and self-interest. Therefore, RESH will only play its proper role when representing Tiphereth. So I know yesterday I talked about the solar disk and Rahor Kut, and kind of plays in today because, you know, in chapter 3 it says, I am a God of vengeance, war, and destruction, and the Lord of the new Aeon. So that all is associated with Geburah, which is ruled by Mars, naturally, and associated with Tiphereth, which are the highest aspects of man. So beside the obvious, where to go? You know, beside the obvious things in this card, you know, you see the, oops, there we go. There's the male child with the red wings of fire, and there's the female cherub with the yellow wings of air, and the butterfly wings actually represent the freedom of the soul, which is like, looks like they're dancing on air. And if you look at their stance, I'm sure you may have noticed this, or maybe not, but if I turn it upside down, like so, kind of resembles the hangman. Interesting, interesting. So let me flip it back over. So dancing in the light of the sun, these two cherubs are dancing on, if you look at the coins real closely, they actually have tau crosses. And basically this was breaking away from the old aeon of Christianity and the ideals of a sacrificial God is what that actually represents. Now, if you look behind the cherubs, there is a mountain. So here's an interesting fact that I didn't know, that this mountain in the background with the sun and the And the thousand-petal lotus, that is actually the family crest of the Crowley lineage. Believe it or not, that's his family crest. The mountain, the sun, and the lotus. And move over here. Wrapped around this fertile green mountain of growth and possibility, there is the red band with the yellow shapes in it. And this is just another illustration of the of twin qualities in harmony with each other. And I'll back out a little bit so you can see. Looking closely at the rays of the sun, there are 12 rays, and the longer ones start at Aries and go around to Virgo for the light half of the year, and then the shorter ones start at Libra and go around to Pisces for the dark half of the year. And that's the zodiac, the division of the light and the dark half of the year. The zodiac, also known as Aphrodite's belt, the lemniscate, which basically stands for adorned with ribbon. This is the shape of Nuit's body, the Nu, the Nu, reflected back on itself. Basically what they refer to as the Ohm symbol, or the number 8 turned sideways, is the sine wave reflected back on itself. Closer around the outside of the sunlight, there is the rainbow effect, and this signifies the presence of water. In the Greek mythos, water is used to symbolize a raising of the consciousness. Another example would be like, John the Baptist and the 5 levels of baptism, which are, of course, the physical on earth, the astral by water, the mental by air, the spiritual by fire, and then the new mind, whereby all the old ideas, habits, doctrines, and uncertainties are washed away. And there's a lot of biblical references that speak to that. So, going back to the twins on this card, and I'm back. Can you see me? Mm-hmm. It says I'm live. And I'm back. Hooray. Okay. So, picking up where I left off. Okay. Sorry. Letting everybody know I'm. Okay. Okay, I get a message. Your video will be shared to the groups you selected next time. Okay. All right. Woohoo! Okay, 3. Oh, there we go. Now, you know what? Now it's actually saying that there's 3 viewers. Okay, where it wasn't before. What? No. Okay. Well, it says there's. Okay, fine. Okay, so picking up where we left off, where else do you see the twins? Oops, where's the big picture? There we go. Where else do you see the twins? Well, I'm sure it's easy guess. You see them in the Lover's card, the brothers Cain and Abel, and there's a whole story about that. And where else do you see them? You also see the twins in the Fool's card. Well, where in the Fool's card, you might be wondering? If you look really close right beneath the Fool's crotch, you'll see how the flower splits between male and female. And look right below it, laying arm in arm, shoulder to shoulder, there's two small twins of potential, magical children waiting. Yep. So, as a takeaway from this presentation this evening, the sun, Sol, S-O-L, which is another way of saying speed of light, um, it is the source of all life here, also the success and abundance that is made available to us each day. Hang on one second, I gotta Nuit. Um, this card provides the needed energy and hope to get through a tough situation and help you succeed. Each of us are in a position where we can share our highest qualities with each other, like this presentation, rather than in person. The sun illuminates our paths and gives us the energy to move forward after trying times. So embrace your goals and the effort to give it all you got. If you're in a situation where when it rains it pours, know that the clouds will always give way to the rays of the sun. The card also implies and invites simplicity, the twins, looking for the little things in life that bring us immense happiness. Just follow your inner child, not allowing, the layers of negativity that surround us in the world to build up and wall us in. When the sun shines, it's a clue of finding new ways to resolve problems. Look at things with a fresh perspective and view. See things more clearly. See the obstacles and difficulties with objectivity and consideration. Know that what you have and will always have the energy needed to deal with any of life's situations. Love is the law, love under will. That concludes my presentation. The one part I left out is I'm kind of considering now putting together a presentation on the major arcana. I know it's been done by a lot of people, but I'd like to do it because every year that I focus on something different here in the holy days, I learn something new each year that I didn't catch the year before or didn't think fit together. But all of these cards are like the pieces of a puzzle of the big picture on the Fool's Journey. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. I'm going to enjoy my bacchanalian libations and say the same to everyone else. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole is the law, love under will. This is Frater Wynter signing off from Templum Tuat here in Central Florida. 93 et al.